right now people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside there?
Of course. But when you think masks, you should think of healthcare providers needing them and people who are ill.
So that was Dr. Fauci in March saying there's no need to wear a face mask. It does nothing. It's false security. Then you have a couple months later, Governor Newsom makes face masks mandatory. You can't eat, you can't shop, you can't go in public without one. So ever since that original statement that Dr. Fauci made saying that face masks are not important, that they will not do anything, that they are false security, he has retracted that statement. He is now saying it's very crucial to do so. There's this interview I want to show you of Mark Zuckerberg and Dr. Fauci, where Mark Zuckerberg is interviewing him about this issue, which is very bizarre to me that these people who literally have nothing to do with this type of, industry or this field or whatever, they are always involved with it. I mentioned this in my last video about Ashton Kutcher. Like, why is this actor in a FBI raid, right? Like, you have these people that have nothing to do with a specific issue and they're there. They have no training whatsoever on this subject and they're there and they're right in the front and center of it. And it's just so interesting to me. But anyways, I want to show you this video of Mark Zuckerberg interviewing Dr. Fauci about face masks. So let's watch it.
Is where your guidance for people around the country has changed.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you're dealing with something that's changing in real time, Mark, that's really the nature of science. You look at the data and the information you have at any given time, and you make a decision with regard to policy based on that information. As the information changes, then you have to be flexible enough and humble enough to be able to change how you think about things. And I think, one of the important things that we're emphasizing right now that really evolved from a situation that did change is our insistence now on wearing masks.
So he just said that the basis of science is something that changes over and over and over again, and you must humble yourself to accept that. And so, but that's literally not the basis of science. The basis of science is that there's something that can be proven by result. So his hypothesis is that face masks work, right? But where is the results that say that they do? Because we're literally having to wear face masks because there's all these spikes in the COVID, right? So where is your result? Your numbers are increasing, if anything. So that is not the result. That is not, your hypothesis is incorrect. So I don't even understand that correlation to believe in science because it's absolutely true and this is the basis of it, but it's not. And I mentioned this in a video before. One of the messages that they're going to be constantly pushing is believe in science. They're going to push that in order to get people to, get the vaccine, and that they're so confident in this scientific thing, but they don't even know if you should wear a face mask or not, and they have no result to prove their hypothesis. So their science that they say is the whole basis around this whole face mask thing is not even, it doesn't even make sense. It's like, doesn't even correlate to one another. There's no result to say that these work. There really isn't. Anyways, let's continue.
I mean, masks are very important. They protect you from giving infection to someone else if you happen to be inadvertently infected. And I'll get back to that in a moment, because there's such a significant percentage of the cases that are actually without symptoms. So anyone at any given time could be infected, don't even know it, and feel perfectly well. So you have a responsibility. You can get protected. Now, early on, when we were in a situation in which there was a real concern about the lack of personal protective equipment on the part of the health providers who needed it, who put themselves in harm's way every day to take care of people who are ill with this virus, that we were thinking we would run out of masks and other things for them. So the recommendation was not to wear a mask because of the shortage of it.
So there he is admitting on a live television stream that he has lied to us. He's lied to us before, saying face masks are not important. They're just false security. But now he's saying it's so crucial and so important. And earlier he just said that, you know, this is something that changes over time and this is the basis of science. But now you're saying that it was because we were scared we were going to run out. So is it science or is it because you guys were going to run out of face masks? Like, he doesn't even know how to cover up his lies. He clearly lied to people, made this whole elaborate lie just because you were afraid you guys were going to run out. Why didn't you just say that? You don't think people would have cooperated with it like the way they are now? You don't think people would have been like, oh yeah, we want the people in the medical field to be safe? That is baloney. Like, what a liar, what a horrible liar. Like, I don't even know why he thinks that makes sense for them to lie in that type of way. Like, why don't you just say, hey, people, we're afraid that we're going to run out of these face masks. So if you could please wear a cloth, a bandana, make it out of an old towel or whatever, right? But no, he's telling people like, oh, it doesn't even matter. Like, just go around spreading your COVID. Like, he's clearly lying. If it was as dangerous and deadly as they say it is, why would you tell people not to wear a face mask? And then now you're insisting. He literally says that we're insisting for people to wear these face masks. Why? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Everything that's happened. This is mask Babylon, y'all. Like, this is so much misinformation, so much confusion, and it's all because of people like this.
You said as late, and I got a newspaper article that as late as March 31st, there was no consensus on wearing masks. And the president, as you know, relies on your expertise. Do you now regret not advising people more forcefully to wear masks earlier?
Okay, we're going to play that game. Let me explain to you what happened back then.
Should be a yes or a no.
No, there's more than a yes or no by the tone of your question. I don't regret that, because let me explain to you what happened. At that time, there was a paucity of equipment that our healthcare providers needed, who put themselves daily in harm's way of taking care of people who are ill. We did not want to divert masks and PPE away from them to be used by the people.
Like I said, it doesn't make sense that if this whole COVID thing is so dangerous, so deadly, so scary, why would you not have people wear these face masks if that's what works? So obviously it wasn't the changing of science, but he pushed that out there because that is something they're going to use later. And they foreshadow that with everything that they say. And it's just like, it doesn't make sense that you would tell people not to wear face masks just because other people need it. Why don't you give them an alternative solution, right?
When personal protective equipment, including the N95 masks and the surgical masks, were in very short supply. And we wanted to make sure that the people, namely the healthcare workers, who were brave enough to put themselves in harm's way to take care of people who you know were infected with the coronavirus and the danger of them getting infected, we did not want them to be without the equipment that they needed.
So they say the COVID is so deadly, so dangerous, but initially when this was first happening, they were like, don't worry, the face masks don't even matter. Now they're like, you have to wear it. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, he clearly lied. It has nothing to do with science changing. That's just more reasons and more confusion, more straight Babylon. And I don't know. I don't really care anymore. I don't care. I just wanted to show this to you guys, like, share it with you. Like, this is just absolutely bananas. But anyways, I'm going to go cut the video off. So thank you and God bless you.